Furious Pope Leo XIV continues to unleash on Donald Trump and his despicable regime of war criminals. Pope Leo XIV is living rent-free in Donald Trump's head and haunting Donald Trump. In fact, the Bishop of Palm Beach, the Florida diocese that includes Mar-a-Lago, just distributed the following message at Mass over the weekend, condemning Donald Trump's attacks on Pope Leo XIV. Message to clergy, religious, and faithful of the Diocese of Palm Beach from our bishop. So literally in Donald Trump's backyard, here was the message. The Diocese of Palm Beach stands firm with our Holy Father, Pope Leo XIV, and strongly rejects the disrespectful and violent attacks that Donald J. Trump has directed against the Holy Father. These attacks also constitute a grave violation of the religious freedom enshrined in the Constitution of the United States, and as such, harm the rights of the American Catholic faithful. Please pray for the safety of the Holy Father, right in Donald Trump's backyard. As I've said before on this network, it doesn't matter what religion you follow, or if you don't follow any religion at all, whether you're an atheist or whether you're Catholic or Christian or Jewish or Muslim or Hindu. As long as you respect each other, empathy, love, community, helping marginalized communities, that's what we emphasize a lot. And I think it's so important to spread love during these very dark times and to call out war criminals the way Pope Leo XIV has called out the Trump regime without even so much as having to say Donald Trump's name. Take a look right here at the massive crowd in Scotland, as Christopher Hale, who writes Leo letters, explains. Pope Leo XIV is the one American single-handedly holding up our stature around the globe. Take a look right here at this football or soccer game in Scotland. You also had Pope Leo XIV in Angola. He's doing this trip of Africa. He was in Cameroon earlier last week. He was in Angola over the weekend. You can see his motorcade right here. It's just notable, as Christopher Hale from Letters to Leo points out. Trump has attacked Pope Leo XIV 8 times in 7 days. There's been a single response from the Pope to say the administration does not intimidate him. Leo made plain that he is not fighting with Trump in advance. He's just saying things that should be universal. We're against war criminals. We're against war. We're for peace. We're for love and empathy. And the fact that this is making the Trump regime so angry should tell you all you need to know. By the way, on Sunday, Donald Trump had Mark Levin from State Regime Media go on Fox, which is state regime media, and try to lecture the world on the just war doctrine and how Donald Trump is actually following the Bible by engaging in war crimes against Iran and engaging in war crimes and genocide across the world. As Christopher Hale puts it, Mark Levin, a Reformed Jew who admits he first read the Catechism of the Catholic Church a few days ago, quoted it to lecture Pope Leo XIV on the Christian just war doctrine. Leo was an Augustinian friar who spent 12 years leading Augustine's religious order. Augustine invented the just war doctrine in the 4th century, and Leo XIV is pretty much as aware of what it means and what it is. Mark Levin's qualification in his words is, I'm not a theologian or anything, but I'm just going to say words right now. Watch what Donald Trump had Mark Levin from State Regime Media do. Play this clip.
The Catechism of the Catholic Church lays out the conditions for a just war in paragraph 2309. The damage inflicted by the aggressor on the nation or community of nations must be lasting, grave, and certain. All other means of putting an end to it must have been shown to be impracticable and ineffective. There must be serious prospects of success, and the use of arms must not produce evils and disorders graver than the evil to be eliminated. The power of modern means of destruction weighs very heavily in evaluating this condition. And so these are briefly the four elements of a just war. And I thought to myself, well, this is a just war then, by this definition, by these elements. But let's continue. Let's dig a little deeper. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, 2263, The legitimate defense of persons and societies is not an exception to the prohibition against the murder of the innocent that constitutes intentional killing. The act of self-defense can have a double effect, the preservation of one's own life and the killing of the aggressor. The one is intended, the other is not, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Now, in contrast, these were the messages from Pope Leo XIV yesterday, while Mark Levin was saying that. A mother loves all her children in the same way and with her whole heart. Standing before the mother of our hearts, we want to promise to do the same, striving to ensure that no one lacks love and what is necessary to live with dignity and to be happy. May those who are hungry have food. May all the sick receive the care they need. May children access proper education, and may the elderly live their later years in serenity. And that's one of the things he was saying during this powerful speech he gave in Angola. Contrast that to Donald Trump. Donald Trump covering up a child sex trafficking ring, the Epstein files. Donald Trump blowing up elementary schools in Minab in Iran. Donald Trump bragging about blowing up fishing boats off the coast of Venezuela. Contrast that to Pope Leo XIV, who is saying the following. While Donald Trump is out there lifting sanctions against Russia, allowing Russia to make money in order to kill Ukrainians and to wreak havoc across the world and unleash hell, here's what Pope Leo XIV says. I'm deeply saddened by the recent escalation of attacks against Ukraine, which continue to afflict civilians. I express my solidarity with those who are suffering and assure all the Ukrainian people of my prayers. I renew my appeal for weapons to fall silent and for the path of dialogue to be pursued. Imagine if we had a leader in the United States who can say something like that. Then Pope Leo XIV also writes, the ceasefire announced in Lebanon, however, offers cause for hope. It represents a glimmer of relief for the Lebanese people and for the Levant. I encourage those who are working toward a diplomatic solution to continue peace talks so that a cessation of hostilities throughout the Middle East may become permanent. Now, while he was saying that, what was Donald Trump doing? Donald Trump was using his naval blockade of Iran to attack an Iranian ship and to board it. Meanwhile, you had Netanyahu hitting sites in Lebanon during the ceasefire, and apparently Hezbollah's, hitting sites back. But I mean, the ceasefire is a ceasefire in name only right now, and we also know Netanyahu hitting innocent civilians there, and of course in Gaza as well, which is so horrific. Pope Leo XIV also says, peace is not something we must invent. It is something we must embrace by accepting our neighbor as a brother or sister. We do not choose our brothers and sisters. We must simply accept one another. We are one family inhabiting the same home and this wonderful planet. Now, it should also be noted the families of more than 100 school children killed in the U.S. bombing of the Iranian school in Minab. They wrote a letter of gratitude to Pope Leo XIV. In it, they thank him for being a champion of peace and a voice for their deceased children. The White House has yet to apologize for the incident. In fact, the White House continues to cover up their massacre of the little girls in the elementary school in Minab. Again, shout out to Christopher Hale, who writes letters for Leo. And here's how he describes what went down. The parents of the children killed in the Iranian school bombing of Minab by Donald Trump and Netanyahu, they wrote to Pope Leo XIV. You can see their letter right here. Let me translate it for you. Today, the empty chairs of the classroom in Minab are bitter testaments to this very truth, a truth brought about by the making of American bombs directed by illogical warmongers. We thank you that amidst the tumult of war, you became the voice of righteousness and reminded everyone that lasting peace and tranquility are achieved not through force and weapons, but through the path of dialogue and the genuine search for a solution for all. Our children will never return home again to build a better tomorrow, but the prayer of us bereaved fathers and mothers is that your message to lay down weapons is heard, especially when America and the Israeli regime, with their excessive demands, fuel the fire of these crimes. We ask you to continue to be the voice of the voiceless children and strive to reopen all paths of dialogue so that no more weapons are built and no father or mother anywhere on this earthly sphere is forced to whisper a nighttime lullaby over the cold tombstone of their child. And I just want to share this with you as well. This is Pope Leo XIV when he was still a cardinal. And here's what he said. You can see this is what he's been preaching his whole life. Here, play this clip.
Every one of us, whether we were born in the United States of America or on the North Pole, we all are given that gift of being created, the image and likeness of God. And the day we forget that is the day we forget who we are. We forget who Christ has called us to be.
Now, Christopher Hale, who I've become very friendly with through reading his writings, and you've seen him on the network as well, here's what he writes as well. He goes, "Let me say to my conservative Catholic friends the thing I have wanted to say for a long time. Your movement has been hijacked by a celebrity populism that puts evangelical grievance ahead of Catholic conscience, and only you can take it back. The faithful who built the American Catholic conservative tradition, who prayed the rosary outside clinics, fought for school choice, defended the reverence of the Latin Mass when bishops would not. Those faithful did not sign up to be silent partners while the Pope is insulted. You do not owe fidelity to men who will not defend the Holy Father. Your fidelity belongs to Christ and to the church he founded upon Peter. For my part, I promise this. Those of us on the other side of the aisle must earn your trust back through deeds, not slogans, through policies that honor the unborn and the immigrant alike, the family and the worker, and the reverence of the sanctuary and the dignity of those living on the street. Changing your conviction is not what I ask. I ask only that you refuse a bargain that requires your silence while your Pope is treated as a punchline." Now, I just want to say this again at the end of it. We have people who watch this network from, again, all different religions. And the point of me sharing with you what Pope Leo XIV is not a religious message at all. I want to be very clear about that, because we respect your right to worship whatever you want to worship, or worship nothing at all. From atheist to this religion to that religion, we welcome everybody so long as you're empathetic, you're loving, you're compassionate, you build up each other. We try to make this world a better place. I don't think that gets talked about enough on any news network. Do you ever? It's always the talking heads yelling and screaming at each other and on the horse race politics. Let's take a step back and talk about what we do when we inhabit this earth for a short period of time. And I just think it's incumbent upon us to live lives with meaning and positivity and uplift people and to help, to lend a helping hand, not hurt, not to beat down, to help people. That's why we do this network. That to me is at the core of everything. And it's great to see Pope Leo XIV or any leader, religious or otherwise, use their position of power to do good. To do good, not to use your power to do what Trump does, to grift and to take and to steal and to crime and to cover up and to make the world the worst place. Using your power for good and to help. Using your platform to help. And I just hope that that's what you think we do here at the MeidasTouch Network, to use this platform to help, even if just a little bit, by helping get out the truth. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, and let's get to 7 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.